babies in incubators, in baby cribs. And whenever a baby has a low oxygen, all the doctors, all the medical staff, all the nurses, they get worried. They spend their nights and days to save one baby in the crib, to save one baby without oxygen. Mr. President and fellow Americans, what will you say to those who cut off the oxygen for 500 babies? What will you say to those who killed 437 doctors? And Mr. President, let me remind you, you visited and put your hand on the back of the mass killers on the day when they bombarded Al-Shifa hospital and they killed 1,000 patients. My dear fellow Americans, we stand here to tell Mr. Blinken, listen. We salute to South Africa. You said they are saying things which are meritless. No, they are on the side of justice. They are on the side of American people. They are on the side of 65% of Americans. You are the loser. You are the one who was alone and 150 nations were against you in UNO. You are making us unpopular in the world. You're taking the American position of leadership away from us. So before I leave, I will say three things. First, what 65% of Americans and all of us think here, immediate ceasefire! 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 Second, stop giving us the lecture of morality. You like to have selective morality. Your morality and justice is different for Ukraine and different for Gaza. Stop this hypocrisy. And the last thing is stop funding apartheid killers. Stop funding them. Stop arming them. Stop the genocide. And Mr. Biden, Mr. Blinken, if you don't listen, get ready to pack your bag and leave the White House.
Brother, you see and feel all this deep spirit of love and justice and solidarity together. We love our Palestinian brothers and sisters. Oh, yes, we do.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
This country labels itself as a defender of human rights. What do you think about this?
Well, brother, when you support genocide, ethnic cleansing, apartheid, I don't think you have any claim to human rights, man. No. Not at all.
This isn't our first protest. We have taken to the streets in the name of one victim of state violence for months at a time. If we were to take to the streets for every single casualty and every single person that is under the rubble for the last 3 months, it would take us 100 years to honor each and every single one of those victims. And if we were to collectively take to the streets for the rest of our lives, for just one of the people on these posters, for just one Wa'al al-Dahduh, it would be worth it. They ask us where our Nelson Mandelas are. We say that our Mandela is suing you criminals at The Hague right now for genocide. We say that our Mandelas are the children that have resisted over 7 decades of occupation standing in front of Israeli tanks. We say that our Mandelas are the Wa'al al-Dahduhs and the Mu'tazas of the world who continue to hold up cameras to your genocide unintimidated. We say that our Mandelas are the Rachel Corries of the world, are the allies of Palestine, that despite all of the Israeli propaganda over these years, have never relented in standing by our side and saying that we will not go home until every Palestinian can go home.
I'm a Palestinian. I was kicked from my land. I lived here in America as a refugee. And I try to stand up for America, for Palestine, for Gaza. I'm trying to stand up against the genocide, against the country of apartheid. We all have to stand for the right thing, no matter what we are, no matter what color or gender or where we're from. We are human, and we are all supposed to stand for a conscience, the good conscience. Where Biden and our Secretary of State, they don't have that. They have a dead conscience. They are not even looking at people, the kids, the women. All these people have been buried alive, and they still send in women. That's what I'm here for.
Human rights is supposed to be a defender of human rights. Do you think that's true?
Who?
The U.S. government.
U.S. used to be the friend of human rights. Now they can stand up for Ukraine, and they send weapons to help the fighters in Ukraine. But they are sending weapons against the freedom fighters or the Palestinians in Gaza. That's what they're supposed to be standing for.
Yeah, why do you think they're so silent on Israel's war crimes?
It's very easy. The war crime, because our government completely controlled by the AIPAC. We don't have anybody who are really, truly American in our government. They're all bought and already by the AIPAC.
My name is Medea Benjamin with Code Pink. And we have been walking the halls of Congress every day for the last 3 months. But I'm asking for your help because we need to flood Congress. We need more people. Join us. We're there every day, 10 a.m. in the heart building of the Senate. We need them to know we will not stand by while they continue to support the genocide, right? But today I want to address the occupant in the White House. You know that Joe Biden used to cultivate an image of himself as this nice, kind Uncle Joe. He knew the value. He knew the value of of human life because he had suffered such losses himself. Now he is no longer the comforter in chief. He is known as Genocide Joe.
You are gathered here today to demand a ceasefire. an end to war and an end to occupation. But more than demanding a change in policy, your presence here today and every day across America is a reminder of the values this country seems to have forgotten. A belief written into our founding documents that every human being on this earth is endowed with certain unalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. For over 20 years, many in your community have been vilified, threatened, and silenced. You have been told that you do not belong here, that you are not welcome here, that you do not fit in here. Today, as we see, that could not be further from the truth. In an era of social atomization, you demonstrate the strength of community. In an era of politics divorced from accountability, you demonstrate the power of advocacy. In an era of censorship, you demonstrate courage. In an era of political enmity, you model human empathy. In an era of unfairness, you demand justice.